What readathons am I starting the year off with? Hi friends, I'm Jen and welcome back to Pages and Chaos. I figured I'd tell you a little bit about the two readathons that I'm doing in the month of January. So if you've been around here for a while, you know that I'm part of a book club called the Comfy Cozy Book Club on Discord, and that is run by Hannah at the Teacher TBR. And the month of January is her birthday month, so she decided to do a little readathon to kick off the year and the month strong. So this is a week-long readathon called Comfy Cozy Are We? And there are 4 prompts plus a bonus read. So the first prompt is to read a graphic novel, and I have 2 graphic novels here that I'm going to choose for this prompt. The first one is the Tea Dragon Festival, which is a companion to the Tea Dragon Society book that I read back in the summer. And this graphic novel continues the series with Ezekiel and Eric, and it is about a new character, Rin, who grew up in a village, and she knows about the tea dragons that inhabit that village. However, she's never actually come across one. And then she stumbles across the tea dragon, Aidhan. I don't know how to say the name properly. I'll learn. I'm sure there's a pronunciation somewhere. But he's been put in some mysterious sleep for a long time. So now she goes on an adventure with her uncle Eric and his partner Ezekiel, who are from the first book, to figure out the mystery of this sleep and how to figure out to wake up this dragon. The next graphic novel that I'm going to pick up is Garlic and the Witch, which is the second book after Garlic and the Vampire. And Garlic once again finds herself going on another journey, and she has to anxiously prepare for this journey where she needs to gather up supplies for her friend Agnes the Witch. And she actually experiences another change where she feels like she is turning human. So now she has to not only deal with the journey, but she has to deal with the change and the fact that Agnes is assuring her that it is okay to change and to not worry. The next book is to read a cozy mystery or a thriller, and for this I am actually choosing the next buddy read that we're going to read for the entire year in this Comfy Cozy Book Club, and that is Death by Dumpling. And this is about Lana Lee, who after a breakup and a walkout of her workplace decides to go back home to help her family restaurant, and she's trying to navigate that, but then all of a sudden one of the property managers shows up dead, and it is after a delivery of shrimp dumplings from her family's restaurant. So she goes on a sleuthing expedition to figure out who the killer is and what exactly happened. The next prompt is a book that you can just cozy up with or snuggle up with, and we are actually going to be unofficially buddy reading Little Women as well. Some people already started in the month of December, but we have until February to read that book if we choose to, and I'm going to read it for the book that we can snuggle up with and cozy up with. I've read it before as a kid, but it'd be exciting to read it as an adult, and I am excited to read that. Now, I have the great illustrated version from when I was a kid. It's adapted, and I didn't realize that it was an adapted version. Obviously, that's the version that I read when I was a kid. So I'm very excited to be able to read the full versions, the one that hasn't been abridged or adapted. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to try to buy myself a copy from Barnes & Noble. There's this pretty copy that I saw online. Otherwise, I already do have it as an ebook on my Barnes & Noble app, so I might just read it there as well. So the next prompt is to choose a book with a pretty cover, and for that I am choosing Powerless because I just think this cover is gorgeous with all of the purple flowers and this beautiful sword. But this also will fulfill the bonus prompt of choosing one of Hannah's favorites, so this is the perfect book. I love this cover. I cannot wait to dive into this. I bought this quite a few months ago in one of my hauls, and I just haven't had the chance to pick it up yet. So I'm very, very excited to start off the year with this book. So this is about the elites who have this special power and the ordinaries who have been banished from the kingdom and exiled from society. And Peyton, who is an ordinary, actually poses as a psychic to get in good with the elites. And one day she winds up saving the life of one of the princes, and she gets thrown into, I believe it's called the Great Purge. Or the Purging Trials, which is like, I believe it was described as like a Hunger Games type thing, where she has to basically showcase powers that she does not have. It is this trials between all of the elites to show who has the better powers. So now she has to navigate that and try to make her way through, knowing that she doesn't have the same powers as the elites. The next read-a-thon that I'm going to participate in is TBR-a-thon, and this is hosted by Leandra at the TBR Zero. This is the second January that she has done this and the third round that she has done something similar. So she did this last January and I participated in it. She also did it in October and it was called TBR Harvest, and now she's doing another round. So this is for the entire month of January, where the goal is to get as much of your TBR read as possible. She designed 3 different ways to do that, 3 different types of games. And I just keep gravitating to the same game because I enjoy it so much. So I am going to do the board game, and this one is called Paws and Bookshelves. And as you can see, it's set up like Chutes and Ladders or Snakes and Ladders, depending on which version of the game you grew up with. I believe mine when I was a kid was Snakes and Ladders, but I also know it as Chutes and Ladders because that's what I believe the original name of it was. So I'm excited for that. I'm going to roll as I go because I can't do all my rolls. I am a complete mood reader, and if I do all my rolls and then I pick the books for that rolls, I might decide that I don't want to read that book for that prompt. So I'm going to do a roll as I go. And I actually already did my first roll. So I rolled a 5 and I landed on a book with the word "the." And for that book, I'm actually going to pick a book that's not on my physical TBR, meaning I don't own it, but it is on my TBR because it is for Leandra's podcast that she hosts with Danny Dabbles, and I have every intentions of joining in. So it is a podcast where they read a book and they talk about their thoughts and they invite all of their listeners to join in. So it's a podcast and a book club all in one. So I'm very excited for that. So the book that is chosen for the podcast will also fulfill the prompt that I have for my first roll, and that is The Village Library Demon Hunting Society by C.M. Wagner. I was drawn in the second I heard the description of this. This is a genre blend of fantasy and mystery. Cannot wait to dive into this. So this is about librarian Sherry Pinkwhistle, who keeps finding dead bodies, and she keeps trying to solve those murders. And one day somebody close to her ends up dead, and her cat is also possessed. So now she reaches out to the amateur sleuthing Village Library Demon Hunting Society to try to solve this murder and also figure out how to get rid of this demon that is possessing her cat. And I mean, I just absolutely love this last line of the description. It says, "This riotous mix of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Murder, She Wrote is a lesson for demons and murderers alike. Never mess with a librarian." And as a future librarian, only a year and a half left in my program, I have to say, definitely will agree with that statement. Well, that's all I have for today. And if you've read any of these books or any of these books intrigue you, let me know in the comments down below. And that's all I have for now. Bye.